लास्ट वीक जब हमने वीकली राउंड अप किया था तो क्लियर केस था। एके ने हमको एक चीज बोली थी कि 23,800 और जिस तरीके से निफ्टी पोजीशन है लोअर लेवल पे भी ट्रेड कर सकती है। तब मुझे लगा था कि नहीं, दिस टाइम आई एम नॉट कन्विंस्ड, एके इज कंफ्यूज्ड। और उसके बाद जो मार्केट ने मोमेंटम दिखाया मंडे, ट्यूसडे, वेंसडे और उसके बाद द ग्रेट ग्रैंड थर्सडे, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि शायद मार्केट भी कंफ्यूज्ड है। तो एके कंफ्यूज्ड है और मार्केट कंफ्यूज्ड है और हम तो कंफ्यूज्ड हैं ही। तो चलिए वापस जाते हैं और पूछते हैं कि क्या ये कंफ्यूजन है या इसके पीछे कोई एक एनालिसिस है जो शायद हम नहीं समझ पाए। वेलकम बैक।
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I am good, rather, I would put it like this, because somehow post last weekly roundup, it took me some time, like time till today, I believe, to understand as to what exactly were you were trying to tell us. So tell me, what was the reason behind it, and what is that you have seen in this entire week?
Rachit, why I said in the last, in the last weekly roundup, I told you that we are going to, there is a very high chance that we go down. Although I gave a, like a 700 point, room for upside. Uh, but in such a volatile market, 700 points is nothing. If a Nifty jumps 700 points or 800 points over 1, 2, 3 days or even a single session, uh, with the as long as this volatility will remain, which it will remain as long as the whole geopolitical tension is there. So as long as that is in place, all that has really doesn't have any meaning. A 700 point rally, it may be read by many as अभी तो रिवर्स हो गया है अब और ये, बट उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है when the next very day it goes down drastically and even goes down from your starting point as well. So that is exactly what we saw on Thursday. If you remember, it was like a carnage.
Right.
Nowadays, once or twice every week there is a bloodbath or a carnage. You can say, and 1.5% से 1.5% निफ्टी के मूवमेंट में तो रचित कुछ खास फर्क भी नहीं पड़ता है. मतलब I think most traders and most market participants have got kind of immune to 1.5-2%. It's only when you hit 3% downside, then you start to panic. Oh my God, what is happening?
This is something that we have really seen on Thursday for sure.
Yes,
For the
yes.
first, I believe first half of the trading, nobody was that panicky and everybody was like, हाँ हाँ ठीक है recovery आ जाएगी. But then when it increased in the later half, then people actually became quite disturbed and started off asking questions and things were there on the street.
Yeah. So as long as this hope is there, like 8% नीचे निफ्टी है, तो still there is hope that covering आ जाएगी and all that. As long as this bull mentality is there, I feel we are not going to hit rock bottom. क्योंकि वो क्या, because people with this mindset, traders with this mindset, they always come in to buy at lower level. उनको उनको मतलब क्या है, एक अगर किसी की ऐसी मेंटालिटी है कि रिकवरी आ जाएगी, तो उनको यही लगता है कि इतना गिर गया और कितना गिरेगा. So they are like, now there is upside. So even if I'm trading in a FNO or something, and I have 1 week to the expiry, and today on a Thursday, like for example how Thursday was, जब मार्केट 750 पॉइंट डाउन था, मैं बोला आज मैं ऑप्शन ले लेता हूँ ना कॉल का. अगर आज ले लेता हूँ, एक हफ्ते बाद की एक्सपायरी है, तो 750 पॉइंट नहीं कवर करेगा, 200-300 पॉइंट तो करेगा कवर. तो मैं वो मतलब विद दैट मेंटालिटी, there is a lot, there are a lot of people who get trapped.
Right.
अगर situation अच्छी नहीं है. So what we saw on Thursday and now on Friday also. Friday's second half, what we saw is a pure proof that the geopolitical tensions are not going to ease off for some time, or at
Hmm.
least the volatility which is arising from that tension, that is not going to ease off. इसी मैं पिछले 2 वीक से आपको बोल रहा हूँ that nobody should get into a weekend or go into a overnight position with a very large position. No, it's a very risky proposition at the moment. तो वही हमने मतलब आपने देखा फ्राइडे को towards the second half, the markets kept coming down only, although they still closed in the green,
Hmm.
but from days high there was a considerable cool off.
And I believe that last Friday's closing and this Friday's closing was relatively very close.
Yes. In fact 23,175 was last Friday's closing, and
Uh,
23,115 is this Friday's closing. So so in the span of entire 5 days, we have gone up about 800 points, and then gone down the
and
same
we
level.
have closed near to the last week's
Yes,
close.
absolutely. Also, Rachit, specifically speaking, the HDFC news came out, and obviously, the way it came out with that whole resignation and the statement that some unethical things were not matching up to his way of working or whatever. So whether it is something serious or not something serious, it definitely raises a big doubt,
Hmm.
in the minds of the investor, especially with funds. It just sends a very wrong signal. Something
Right.
like this sends a very wrong signal to the investor. So so last 2 days we saw a solid thrashing in the HDFC Bank stock, and that HDFC Bank is holding almost like 8% on Bank Nifty weightage, and
Hmm.
overall weightage in the Nifty is also very high. So that is also one of the reason that the markets kept going down.
So what about the week ahead? How do we see it? Because I believe it's a truncated week. That makes us
Yeah.
happy. If this kind of circus is what we are seeing, तो एक दिन की छुट्टी भी चलो कुछ तो आराम है. But then two expiries back to back, I believe Tuesday and Wednesday
Yeah.
are again two expiries. So how do we handle this?
Rajit, again, what I have noticed over the last couple of weeks, or maybe a little more, maybe a month,
Hmm.
there's a lot of short position that is being created overall in the market,
Hmm.
and typically a day before expiry or on the expiry day in the first half, we see a little spike in the markets.
Right.
That may be because of some unwinding or whatever you may call it. So there is a fair bit of chance that we may inch up on Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, but again, towards the next weekend, which is Wednesday and Friday, I don't see that holding up. My levels for next week is more or less same what I said in the last week. We are starting the week at the same level what we started this week.
Hmm.
Okay. So 23,800, now that markets have gone up and returned from that level, again it becomes a fortified resistance level. 23,800 on the upside.
Huh.
Okay. Downside, okay, there is, I believe, a minor support level at 22,900 level. We have made a double bottom
Hmm.
in this week itself. 2 बार हम घूम के आए हैं. Usually, they say third time lucky or third time unlucky.
Huh.
We may bounce back of 22,900 and then sustain it, और if we break 22,900, मेरे को अगला जो सपोर्ट जोन है वो काफी नीचे दिखता है. इनफैक्ट द नेक्स्ट सपोर्ट जोन इज 52-week low for Nifty, which is around 22,150.
If
Around
we break, no,
20.
if we break 22,900, the
Yes.
coming week in the first half of it, then the support comes to 22,150.
Yes, 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 yes. In fact, मेरे को रचित, to be honest, मेरे को first half of the week, Monday, Tuesday,
हाँ.
थोड़ा upside ही लगता है. It may not go up all the way, okay, but it may jump up and then it may cool off. So
Okay,
it
so same
so
pattern that we have followed this week.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Now,
but
this is broadly speaking the pattern that I expect the markets to take or make. Now this may be aggravated with news flow, further news flow, escalation of tension. जो downside आना है वो और ज़्यादा aggravate हो जाएगा. Some
okay,
sort
and
of
cooling off pay, we can even touch 22, 23,800 levels. But that
yeah.
is the end point of the bull side, and this is
एज ऑफ नाउ मुझे मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई इतना कुछ गेम चेंजर आ जाएगा जो 23,800 भी ऊपर चला जाए. वो मेरे को नहीं लगता है. बट हाँ एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ न्यूज विच मे बी परसीव्ड एज de-escalation or resolution to this whole situation, any sort of news which may point towards India or uh, the whole issue of LPG and gas crisis being resolved, uh, that will push the markets up. It may not be able to keep the markets up, but it will certainly push the markets up. Uh, any cool off in crude oil prices, again, it will again push the markets up. It may or may not be able to keep the markets up. Uh, Eventually, what will happen is, towards the end of the week, what I expect is again there will be a sort of kind of shorting or whatever, because nobody wants to go into a weekend or a holiday when like Thursday we are going to be closed. Our market is going to be closed, but globally it's open. So so we run the risk of a very very major gap down or a gap up on Friday.
right.
So people want to, now it's also advisable not to go position heavy into any holiday.
Got it. Chaliye, so the levels remain the same, and I believe this thing is something very important. This is one key takeaway, which I believe everybody should remember, that if we break 22,900, if we sustain below that the next entire day, then the pain point can increase. And I believe that this thing would only happen if this entire fiasco gets totally out of proportion, or there are some new entrants in terms of country coming in and making an alliance and becoming a part of the war. But this is a very important key takeaway that we have, that if we sustain below 22,900, we are heading towards 22,150, which to many would not be a good sign, not be a very healthy thing to look at, and we really need to manage our position accordingly. And I believe this would be the 12th or 13th weekly roundup wherein AK is categorically very clearly putting it forward: do not take heavy trading positions.
Yeah.
I believe in the last weekly roundup and last to last weekly roundup, you also told us that it's better off you do not even take overnight positions if you're a trader. And I
Right.
believe many are practicing it. So, chaliye, as always, it is fun knowing and learning about the markets. And if we get any takeaways, it's always +1. As always, it was fun talking and understanding the markets. Have a happy weekend.
Thank you. Happy weekend.